Manchester is a city of 2.8 million people coming from over 200 different nationalities, and yet just a very, very small number of gospel churches relative to the size of the city. To reach a city like this, we need to multiply gospel church plants exponentially, and we're praying that's something which will be achieved through the Northern Gospel Project. We're driven by the conviction that we can do more together than we can do on our own. So the Northern Gospel Project is a movement for our city which is seeking to establish healthy gospel churches through training, funding and caring for church plant launch teams.
We knew that we wanted to plant a church here in the UK, but we weren't sure where. We knew that we wanted to be part of something that was ambitious. And what attracted me to Manchester was that there was a platform here to enable me to do that well.
Often church planters come with training from perhaps somewhere else and they don't have the flavour of the city. I think having training based in the city that you're planting in is a very powerful thing.
We've got a menu of training options depending on the stage you're at and what your involvement in the church plant will be. On the one hand, we have Broadcast Church Planting. That is an online platform for church planter training. To complement that, we have something called Plant North, which is a one-year training course aimed particularly at church planters and pastors who are thinking, what would it look like to launch a church plant out of our church? Then we have something called the City to City Incubator. That's a 2-year training course, and you do that 2-year course in a cohort with other church planters.
The fact that I didn't have to worry about finance in the first few years of the church planting journey was just a huge pressure off my back.
So the idea with seed funding is you provide the financial resources in advance for the church to become like that.
Seed funding is just to get you over the hill, to get you started, can just be very useful for getting things moving.
And with this fund, it's a replenishing fund. So once you're in that position to be on that sort of financial level, you can then pay back in to see more works happen in the future. What we want to do is bring together members of church plant teams, bring together spouses of church planters to provide care and support ongoingly.
Gospel coaching aims to encourage and help sustain church leaders.
The idea is that you take somebody who's already been down the road of church planting and someone like me who's just starting out at the beginning. I get to sit down with someone like that, a safe place for me to come with my questions, my struggles, and just receive really helpful wisdom and coaching.
It's not just to focus on the men in the church, but also for the planters' wives and helping them to really thrive where God's placed them.
The Planters Collective is great because it brings people from other denominations and other church networks together, and we know we need other people, and there's a massive advantage of having people who aren't just from your own theological tribe coming together, all working together for the same goal.
For those who are looking to be involved in a church plant and don't know which team they want to be a part of, then perhaps we can help match you up with a church planter who's looking for a team to go with them. Every church planter is looking for faithful, gospel-hearted people who can stand with them in it. So if you need some help for us to match you with a leader, then that's something we could look to do as well.
I think most anyone can probably plant a church. An individual cannot plant a healthy church. A healthy church requires a community of people around, and not just the people within that church, people who are outside that church.
I think sometimes people believe that only the super Christians can do church planting, and that just simply isn't true. Church planting is for anyone. The key thing is, if you love Jesus and are passionate about seeing his church established and growing, church planting's for you.
I think this is the sort of place you should come to if you want to find training, if you want to find resources and support, if you want to be cared for well. Manchester's a place to plant a church.
Even though we at Trinity Church are only 2 years old, we're already passionate about the Northern Gospel Project so that we can support other church plants, because that's what Jesus is all about, and we want to be about that too.